What's up, guys? Holyknight with you, bringing you High Score Girl episode 3 review. This episode was fantastic. I'm really enjoying this anime, even though we're only 3 episodes in. It begins with our main characters, Haru and Ono. They get invited to go to this flower garden with some friends of theirs from school, and the one who came up with this idea was the pretty boy who likes Ono. He asked her out, but she said no, so he decided maybe if I ask a couple of girls and guys from the class and we all go together as a group, I could get to know her at least on a second or third base, level and stuff like that. And that was his his inner monologue in his head. So they all gather together in the flower garden. They're looking through the flowers and they're having a good time, most of them, except for Ono and Haru. Haru's like, this is boring, I want to play games and stuff like that. He mentions something about ditching them to go find the arcades and stuff like that. And there's this one part where, in that beginning part, where the pretty boy, I forget his name, but I'm just gonna call him Pretty Boy. The pretty boy was like, let's all go in groups of 2, one boy, one girl, and let's all go on Ferry wheel, the weird thing. Ferry wheel, or roller coaster, whatever you call it. The merry-go-wheel, I think. I forgot what you call that ride, but the little wheel that spins around for couples. So everyone's getting their partners. Of course, he picked Ono, and this other weird-looking, I'm not sure if it was a girl or a boy, but it had like a pink afro and a chipped tooth and looked it weird, and Chris was saying something about, let me see your boner and stuff like that, and just some weird prerogative stuff for being kids, because they're only like 10. So it was kind of weird, but I'm surprised they got away with that. But this thing was saying all this to our main character, Haru, and he was like, you're keeping me out, and he said some other stuff, and he was like, no, and he just ran off. And then later on, we found out that he found an arcade that's in there, but the arcade just had like beat up vending machines and old-time games, nothing too fancy. So he's around looking for a game to play, and guess who he finds? Oh no, she's there playing the game. And I forgot what game she was playing, but he was like describing, his habit of describing games to her, like she's a noob when she's not. So they start playing, they hang out together for the rest of the day. And it's funny because they were in there playing games for a while until like evening, and the sky was turning orange, because it was midday, evening. And he wanted to leave, but all of a sudden she wanted to go on rides and stuff. So they went to a haunted house. They went to the mirror room, was a room with a whole bunch of mirrors. I forget what you call those houses, but they went to that. They went on a roller coaster, and the last ride they wanted to go on was the Ferris wheel. Unfortunately, it was too late. It closed down. So she was upset. You could tell she was sad. But technically they spend that second half of day together dating, technically. Even though for Hero it was Haru, it was more like just hanging out. But for her it was like a date. So she was enjoying herself, and you could tell that she was happy about it because she smiled. And then on the way back home on the bus, she was exhausted, so she fell asleep on his shoulder. And he got kind of freaked out because that's not really her character. Usually when she does touch him, it's to hit him. So that kind of freaked him out, but it was good. It was a good first half. But the second half is when things really picked up, because we found out the next day that in school that Ono is leaving to Los Angeles because her parents got their job make them move around, so they're moving up there. And I kind of was scratching my head when writing down my notes that I have here. Because the way this episode was, it was really good, yes, and I enjoyed it, but it was just the fact that the way it felt with the second half of the episode was I wouldn't say rushed, because I believe this is supposed to be only 12 episodes, but just what they went through, him trying to get a gift for her, this goodbye gift. He ended up not buying one. Then everyone started picking on him, and Caesar started biting on his head. because him being rude to her, saying, "I don't need to get you a gift. I'm happy you're leaving. I have my arcade to myself again." Blah blah blah. But then when he finally gets to the arcade, he starts to miss her, and he starts having this inner dialogue. And the inner dialogue is kind of cool because it's not with alternate personalities of himself. He uses game characters from all the games that he played and characters that he like. Like he got Guile from Street Fighter. He got Freddy from not Freddy, but a guy that looked like Freddy from Jason from some Slaughterhouse game, and some other characters from some other games that he played there. And he was using them, the characters in his head, like they was talking to him, giving him love advice. So he decided to, let me be honest to myself. And he spent the money that he had. He spent most of it on the arcade and traveling to the airport to see her. So he bought her a plastic purple ring, which fits her because she has purple hair and purple dress. So he gave it to her, and he explained, "I don't have enough money. This is all I'll buy for now. Will you accept it?" And I was expecting one of two things: for her to accept it, or for her to get Tsunade, not Tsunade, but Sandere on him, and just go off. But no, she does something completely unexpected. She actually hugs him and starts to cry, and I'm like, okay. And it's funny because she's crying while holding him, and she doesn't want to let him go. So her teacher and someone else that was near her, I think the flight attendant, grabbed her and was pulling her away from Hero, and before they get to completely yank her away, she grabbed the purple ring, and at the same time she gave him one last hit, and she scratched his face. So he has these claw marks just going straight down. So, and we see her still crying while they pulling her away and dragging her in the airplane to leave. Then Hervu gets up and he goes back home, and we see on the plane eating a lollipop, and she's not crying no more, but she has this face of despair. So, and that's how the episode ends. And we did get a in the end of the credits, we did get a to be continued. So there is gonna be another episode next week. It's just the fact that this episode, like I said earlier, it felt weird to me because it felt like an ending type episode. Like, this is how you would end the series off, but this is not the end of the series. We still got 9 more episodes because this is supposed to be a 12 anime series, supposedly, from what I heard. So don't quote me on that because I'm not really sure, but that's what I heard. It's supposed to be 12 episodes, but yeah, if that's true, we have 12 episodes in total, then that means we have 9 more to go, and this episode just felt like an ending episode, with that epic cliffhanger. My thoughts is that probably next week we get a time skip, and maybe we might skip a couple of years, maybe 5, because he's 10 right now in 6th grade. So, not 5, maybe 4. Because by then he'd be 14, and that'd be basically the beginning of being a sophomore, sophomore, or what you call 9th graders? I forget what you call them, but basically, yeah, he'd be either beginning in high school or he'd be a sophomore, which is the 2nd year in high school. Either or, that'd be nice if they go by a 4 or 5 year time skip. If they go by 10, then he'd be 20 and he'd probably be in college. Or maybe he doesn't go to college and he has to go straight to the workforce. Either or. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we'll probably get a time skip next episode and they reunite, because if we're not gonna have no more, it's not gonna really feel right, because she goes with the main character, you know what I'm saying? She is the main character. She's the one you see in the front cover. Because Hervu, he's in the front cover, but he's in the sidelines. Technically, she is the main character. I mean, the name of the anime says it all. High score girl, It's about her getting high scores in games, so yeah, so it'd be weird for her to leave and we not to see her no more. So yeah, something should happen. Most likely, if not a time skip, maybe we shift to her completely, and we see her in Los Angeles, which is in America. So, which is gonna be weird, seeing Japanese characters in America, but hearing everybody talk Japanese with English subtitles. This is gonna be kind of weird, but hey, it happened before, so. But yeah, this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. But leave me your thoughts, comments, and opinions. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me how you feel. Did you like that episode? Did you hate it? what you expect next episode. And if you haven't seen it yet, please go see it. It's really good. In an hour, you should be able to watch all 3 episodes, and it's good. It may not be on that level of action anime like Boku no Hero, Black Clover, Naruto, Bleach, and all them. But for being a slice of life comedy gaming anime, it's really good, and the characters are enjoyable. So yeah, well, I'll see you in the next one. Holyknight signing out.